Welcome back to another powerful chapter of World Numismatic Finds, and today we dive straight into 4 UK coins that are now quietly stirring new greedy attention across collectors who are watching this sector like predators. The 2 pence 1992 in fine condition, the 2 shilling 1948 in circulation grade, the 10 pence 1970 in good clean condition, and the 1 penny 1949 in outdated worn condition are now suddenly creeping into lists of top 4 rising UK rare coins. People are now aggressively checking because many know this era is where quiet sleepers start becoming profit pivots when the market shifts. And the UK audience who loves early Elizabeth and post-war predecimal coin hunting absolutely knows when these small old pieces start making movement, the window never stays open long. Let's get started up with the UK 2 pence from 1992 in fine condition is now becoming one of those early new generation decimal copper plated steel pennies that carry more strategic value than people think, because this sits right in that generation where UK coinage literally entered a new era shift in metal reality. This coin is extremely attractive today because many nations including UK have started massive coin metal changes happening again in last few years, which means these historical transition series coins are now becoming extremely demanded globally by collectors. And this type of 2p from 1992 is right in that category that is becoming profitable before many new collectors even realize what they missed. The story of 1992 2 pence is very academically important. 1992 was the year where the Royal Mint officially shifted this denomination towards steel core copper plated composition, and that alone in the numismatic community has serious historical documentation importance because this is where those copper large period memories of Britain fully ended forever. Before that you had the 2p struck in bronze. After that you got this new magnetic generation. So this exact date is like a historical door that closed the old world and opened the new world. This makes even an ordinary non-rare non-error coin from this year still carry a strong learning value and historical timeline energy. And collectors worldwide love transitions because transitions carry guaranteed future increase when collectors' population increases. The head side on this coin presents the famous portrait of Queen Elizabeth II in her prime era. Collectors globally are now becoming more emotionally attached to this period portraits because now the Queen era has completed, and that triggers emotional psychological premium demand that grows every single year. The tail side shows the badge of the Prince of Wales with ostrich plumes, which symbolically represents unity, British royal identity, tradition, and power legacy. This central motive alone makes UK 2 pence coins incredibly recognizable worldwide. Cultural value is permanently preserved on this type because it shows the royal future symbol of the monarchy structure design that is well respected worldwide. This coin weighs around 7.12 grams approximately, and it is one of those coins that feels balanced and solid on hand, which many collectors actually like more than modern reduced weight coins. Key facts are this: any transition era metal change coin becomes always important later, and any coin of Queen Elizabeth II now becomes a long-term stable store of numismatic value, especially if condition is fine or better, because this creates a very good entry-level buy for future profit-minded collectors. Rarity and condition always decide premium. This coin is not an ultra-super rare coin in circulation population sense, but the fine clean condition 1992 2 pence is now extremely wanted because most surviving ones today are either damaged, rusted, bent, color faded, or stored badly in unsafe humidity. A fine condition one looks visually presentable, and that type will continue to increase demand as collectors start wanting clean early 90s pieces as a complete decimal historical collection set. So this coin today is quietly pushing up, and this is the stage before the big public awareness hype explosion. For present market value, most fine examples can already sell around $1,500 to $5,000 today depending on buyer, platform, and buyer urgency. In some hungry collectors groups, especially US-driven numismatic hype zones, you can even see $600 to $800 interest when the buyer is building a full-date steel transition set. So the future projection is extremely positive and strong because this 1992 category will not go backwards, it only climbs gradually and silently. Collectors who have these should store them properly in coin holders away from moisture because any future patina or rust destroy value very quickly. Collector demand of the 1992 2p will absolutely become stronger every year as people start building full Queen Elizabeth II decade collections by year and metal type. So keep your good condition pieces, never clean with chemicals, store safe, because these are the coins that will return surprising profits to the patient collector. In conclusion, this British 1992 2 pence in fine condition is one of those calm silent sleepers that appear normal now, but future hunger will rise, and when the entire younger generation of collectors reach numismatic maturity, they will hunt the early metal transition period coins aggressively. So this is a coin worth securing now before the extremely strong global market fully realizes the long-term potential. At number 2, the 1948 2 shilling is one of the extremely fascinating post-war British silver tone pieces that now is starting to attract international collectors, US collectors, and UK-based numismatic hunters who study history, metal transitions, and era-purpose coins. This coin sits in a point in history where Britain was rebuilding after World War II, and monetary stabilization was extremely important. The coin you are watching today stays in circulation condition, which is even better for documentary-style numismatic research, because this is the truest and most original way these coins existed in pockets and tills during the 40s and 50s. The background of this particular 1948 issue is actually special, because this was the first full stable post-war coinage run under King George VI where silver had fully transitioned away from true sterling, meaning the metal content became cupronickel and therefore represented the start of modern UK non-silver eras. That makes the 1948 shilling a historical reference point coin rather than a random coin. It marks the evolution from old money to modernized money. And seriously, seasoned collectors love this time shift because it shows the moment where Britain started building post-war metal economy again. The headside representation shows the portrait of King George VI, the monarch symbolizing strength and post-war rebuilding. The reverse reveals the crown shield symbolic design that was traditional in this pre-decimal series, communicating national stability, UK pride, and the long British character of heraldic coinage. It truly symbolizes the definition of mid-20th century British money culture. This is why even a circulated piece still gives that authentic era energy and is desirable for collectors, especially content creators, antique dealers, numismatic historians, and international buyers who want physical evidence of post-war Britain in hand. Its weight is around 11.3 grams in cupronickel, which also gives a satisfying heavy old money feel that modern coins just simply do not deliver anymore. The key facts attached to this coin means it sits perfectly between historic collectible category and affordable investment entry category. It is not the highest denomination. It is not silver. But it is one of those coins which now is beginning to uplift in value simply because collectors do not want the big expensive top-tier stuff only, they want realistic mid-level historical coins that actually still feel achievable to collect in sets and series. The rarity level increases specifically in better grades, but even a circulated piece like this still holds demand because people want 1940s and early 50s British pieces before Queen Elizabeth II era took over. Coin dealers in the US and Canada especially like this date because it fits into war and post-war themed collections which are extremely active categories on auction platforms right now. Circulated condition of course brings natural honest wear, and that actually helps authenticity and display value because people appreciate the journey this coin took before reaching you. Present market estimates in US dollars right now for circulated respectable examples can range anywhere between $3,000 to nearly $4,000 depending on specific eye appeal, nicer wear levels, cleaner surfaces, and correct original non-clean condition. But upward pressure exists because people globally now chase early George VI period pieces more aggressively, and that behavior normally translates into long-term increased premium potential in future. Collectors are strongly advised to always store these coins in protective non-PVC sleeves, avoid cleaning them, and keep them categorized by year because George VI series sets have extremely strong demand when sold as bundles. Search local car boot markets, flea markets, antique fairs, older family boxes, and inherited coin tins because this is exactly where these types are still hiding unnoticed. The demand is increasing, and videos like this help the community not miss these secret sleepers. In conclusion, the 1948 shilling coin in circulation condition is not just a coin, it is a physical proof of post-war British economy rebuilding, a reminder of a monarch era closing, and a piece that is now steadily climbing in attention and market recognition. This type of coin is quietly turning into an under-the-radar profitable vintage collectible. And collectors who secure these kinds of coins early, especially before wider public wakes up, usually end up being the ones who benefit the strongest later. At number 3, the 10 pence 1970 United Kingdom coin in a good condition is not just a tiny decimal coin from a pre-decimal crossover transition climate. This coin is one of those fascinating late 20th century pieces that today has created hunger again because modern collectors now want certain quiet sleepers that were not shouted about or hyped for entire decades. This is one of those coins which shows how the older decimal era pieces can actually become treasure later when collectors begin doing deep year set builds and specific condition hunts. This exact year 1970 has begun gaining strong control again in micro-demand windows worldwide, especially inside US-based UK coin buyers who love nostalgia-based UK metals. This piece comes from that time when Britain was still adjusting mentally and financially preparing for decimalisation impact. The background itself instantly becomes half numismatic history and half cultural research because the transition years before full decimal switch have now become extremely actively hunted category coins in 2025 coin markets. The 1970 10 pence was minted among the earlier decimal type designs that still carried classic UK coat of arms heritage, and that is why these pieces now feel different from modern minimalism and modern reduced symbolic currency design language. They represent a bridge world. They represent that last period where coins still carried proper British powerful identity energy in metal before everything changed and became simplified. On the obverse we have the Queen portrait, which in this generation is still classic Elizabeth portrait work. On the reverse we have the royal crowned lion symbolism, which is one of the most historically loaded British heraldic insignia on a decimal coin. So visually both sides create equal weight. Both sides are instantly recognizable and instantly British. Both sides carry national legacy storytelling. So head and tail both equally sell extremely well inside collector market psychology because they are both visually iconic without needing specialist introduction. People see it and they know it is old powerful Britain in metal form. When talking weight, this coin comes around 11.31 grams range, and this alone already tells you this coin was from that stronger heavier metal era before lightweight mass cheap alloys arrived. That weight factor is now becoming one of the new collecting triggers because collectors now are tired of modern weak metal feeling and want older heavy metal feeling coins. So weight is now itself becoming part of rarity emotion. Several key realities make it valuable today. It is a year which gets constantly demanded in good condition, not just average condition. Condition is everything. The 1970 10p is not extremely impossible to locate, but locating proper decent good condition examples that buyers accept as investment grade is becoming tougher every year. Good condition means no ugly environmental corrosion, no heavy surface tears, still good original field tone, good portrait clarity, reverse still visibly proud. When this coin is in good honest lightly circulated condition, this easily stands as a future good sleeper coin. Collectors today, especially US buyers and Asian buyers, now actively target these mid-late 20th century UK coins before they explode. And this generation of coin is now entering that zone where it becomes attractive to impatient investors, also not just long-term collectors. So demand is already shifting into a far hungrier buyer category. In current worldwide selling platforms in a good honest condition, this coin can bring between $700 to $2,500 in today's 2025 markets depending on buyer aggression, photography quality, listing wording, and competitive presence. Some sellers pull even higher when the buyer's bidding pool becomes emotional in bidding rounds. Tips-wise, if you hold these coins, do not clean them. Do not try polishing. Keep them dry stored. Try keeping original tone. Also, do not sell quickly. This is a coin that is steadily rising because post-decimal early decades pieces are now becoming the new trending niche. Long holding is recommended. So overall, this 1970 10 pence coin in good condition is a positive collector's delight. It is a coin that silently supports quieter long-term growth. It is a coin that has now crossed into the category where investors begin watching it. It is a coin which is not hype-based, but value increase based on time, culture, historical era, and future scarcity tightening. And this is exactly why this type of coin is powerful to hold in 2025. This is why this coin is exciting to discuss. This is why collectors are returning to these transition-era UK decimals again. At number 4, the 1949 one-penny coin from the United Kingdom, a coin that today carries nostalgia, charm, history, and silent high-demand interest among niche collectors, especially when we look into the outdated condition form, because even outdated coins become little time capsules once the vintage decade of the post-war British economy comes in front of collectors who love world numismatic research, rare historical metal, and previous generation cultural pieces. This 1949 one-penny coin is now not just an old circulation piece, it is now a representation of a different age of British society when Great Britain was reshaping itself after WW2, rebuilding national industry, resetting post-war finance and strengthening the crown influence worldwide while shifting the monetary metals phase and developing a bigger royal mint structure system. The reverse side representation with Britannia seated holding trident and shield is still one of the most iconic and very royal symbolic designs that the United Kingdom ever presented on regular penny coinage. She represented power, maritime control, British imperial history and British royal traditions. The head side carries the portrait of King George VI, symbolizing leadership after the war, representing stability and strong constitutional monarchy presence during the era. This is not just a coin face, This is a cultural and heritage-preserved identity image that still to this day numismatic researchers respect and admire because it reflects the period when British society was transitioning into modern post-war life. The weight of this coin originally remained near around 9.4 grams with bronze metal alloy structure, big size, proper thick striking, and this makes handling this coin always feel like a solid proper British antique piece. The key fact about the 1949 penny is that even though millions were minted, most circulating coins faced heavy wear, corrosion, oxidation, handling marks, weather exposure, sweat reaction, and rusting due to stored in cheap metal tins or low-grade containers in homes. So outdated condition is extremely normal in this year, and that is why collectors still show interest, because better grade ones are much harder to survive now. Today in numismatic world market, this coin is not super mega rare like gold sovereign elite pieces, but it is a silent slow demand builder coin because UK pre-decimal pennies have high reinterest return from global UK collectors, US collectors, Pakistani collectors, Indian collectors, and even Middle East collectors who are now strongly entering British copper collectors wave. Even outdated condition can still reach value around $1,000 to $5,000 depending on how outdated appearance still maintains readable design and if head and tail still remain clearly visible. If slightly better preserved, some collectors push up the price range higher because population survival today in strong grade is reducing year by year. Collectors who want to hold this piece as long term should try to protect, seal and avoid further bronze corrosion, never clean aggressively, never scratch and never polish with chemicals because this damages authenticity. Store in dry environment, gently brush dust and keep metal in soft holders to strengthen future appreciation value. The 1949 one penny today is a fantastic motivational example that old British pennies will never see this form again in the world numismatic landscape because bronze full-size big penny format ended and disappeared permanently. This is why this coin still stands powerful. Conclusion today is that this coin even in outdated condition has charm, story, historical cultural value, royal identity and steady collector demand which is slowly increasing worldwide in long-term investment view.